Okay, number 6. Suppose you are financing $500,000 in a home mortgage, all right? And this is, of course, your principal or the present value, P. All right, the APR is the same. And now, part A. In which type of mortgage would you have higher monthly payments? 15-year mortgage or 30-year mortgage at the same interest rate? Okay, which one? I mean, it is more advantageous to pick the 15-year mortgage because you will end quickly and you will pay less in interest. But because you're trying to pay off the entire thing in half the time, of course you have to pay more every month, right? So the question is, in which type of mortgage would you have to pay higher monthly payment? And the answer is, of course, 15-year payment. And why? Because it's shorter. If you want to pay off your debt in half the time, then of course you have to pay more each time. That's pretty much the simple answer. In B, in which type of mortgage would you have higher total interest over the term of the loan? And that's, of course, the 30-year mortgage. And that's because it's longer. And longer you borrow your money, more you have to pay into the interest, right? So the total interest would be much, much higher actually with a 30-year mortgage because you are borrowing the same amount of money for twice as long. I am not saying that the interest payment will be twice as much, okay? In fact, it's probably going to be more than twice of the interest paid over the 15-year period. Number 7, Mark has a great credit score. John doesn't, okay? Mark has got a better payment record, maybe. They both finance $300,000 to buy a house. Mark gets a 30-year mortgage with a monthly payment of $2,000. John gets the 30-year mortgage, but you have to pay because John has sort of maybe messed up in credit history. He has to pay $22,000 a month, okay? So that means every month, John gets to pay $200 more. And that's not too bad, right? $200 more. I mean, the house is hundreds of thousands of dollars. Well, calculate how much extra John will be paying over the term of the mortgage. All right, so this is only $200 a month, but you have 12 months for each year, and then you're going to multiply this by 30. Remember, you have to, this is 36, by the way, 360. Remember, it's only $2,000 each time you make a payment, but you are making 360 payments. That's a lot of payments, by the way, right? 3 years, 30 years. Okay, so the answer is $72,000. Your lower credit score may cost you $72,000 in this situation. So don't mess up your credit score. That's the moral of the story. Okay, and notice here, I didn't have to use any fancy equations or formulas, right? And your test questions will not require you to know complicated formulas. Yes, these formulas you would need to know, but the other, hard formulas like for payment, monthly payment or whatever, you will not need to know. But see, this is a common sense question. This is the kind of question that people will be asking all the time in real life, okay? So I hope you are not saying anymore, what's all this math good for? School math is completely of no use. No, actually, it may save you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Number 8, okay? So let's say October 13th, 2019 was a Sunday. It really was, by the way. What is the probability that 2 days later, that's also a Sunday? And that actually would be nice, huh? 2 days after a Sunday, you have another Sunday, but that's not going to happen. So this is impossible, right? And what is the probability of impossible events? Impossible events have the probability of 0. How about this October 15th, which is 2 days after the Sunday, is a Tuesday. Of course, the probability, and this is certain to happen, 2 days after a Sunday is a Tuesday, so the probability is 1. Okay, so this is just so you understand what the 0 and 1 probability values mean. Number 9, if a coin is tossed 6 times, how many outcomes are there? So this is one of the outcomes, right? And so the answer is, of course, this you have to count, and this is an application of the multiplication rule. You have 2 possibilities for each toss, tails or heads, right? So you have 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. It's the answer, and the answer is 2 to the 6th power, of course, and that is 64. Okay, there are 64 outcomes, just like this, when you toss a coin 6 times. And number 10, 2 coins are tossed. You have 4 different outcomes here. What is the problem? Actually, let's go ahead and write down the 4 outcomes. Heads, 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 tails, tails, heads, and tails, tails. Again, I have written this in the lexicographical or alphabetical or dictionary order. What is the probability that you have at least one heads? Okay, well, you have 2 heads here. That's at least 1. You have 1 heads, 1 heads. And so that's 3/4, right? Or you could say there's only one way to get no heads, and that's to get tails, tails. And so 1 minus 1/4, the answer is 3/4. That's okay. You could also write 75% on your test, and that would be fine. All right, so I have done or finished the first 10 questions. In the next part or the segment of the video, we will start with number 11.